So we're going to get started here. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger the last time we played, so we're going to try to bring all the pieces to this back together. Yeah, spin that wheel. But if this is your first time joining us, we would invite you to come hang out with us in our Discord server. We are there 24/7 to answer any D&D. We're not there 24/7, but we're there often, and you can come hang out with us and talk about D&D, talk about other things, nerdy things you're into. We also run a lot of community-based games, so if you're looking for people to play games with, we have an LFG channel in there that you could connect up with other people and play in some tabletop games together. Okay, I guess without further ado, we will get started with what we're doing here tonight. So the last time we left off, the characters are looking for a Modron named R04M, or Rome, who is the property of the owner of the Fortune's Wheel Casino in Sigil. And so they have accepted the job. They're looking for the Modron. Their search has led them out into the Outlands, and they stopped out at a gate town called Automata, where they kind of ran into a Gazeri scholar named Zier, and discovered from Zier that she had an interaction with Rome, the Modron that they are looking for. Rome had come into contact with her, and due to their inability to communicate, she wasn't exactly sure what the Modron wanted, but it delivered unto her this kind of golden crystal skull that has gears and parts and such, that it's some sort of artifact that she believes that the Modron gave to her it was trying to tell her something. And she believes that the device might be the key to understanding what it was trying to tell her. Unfortunately, in the midst of her trying to decode and attune to this item and figure out how it works, her tower or castle, her walking castle that she is the caretaker of, it's sort of this roaming library and repository of knowledge, sort of a laboratory that she and her ancestors have used to roam about the Outlands and collect information and learn things, try to learn things about the multiverse, essentially. It was attacked, though, by some fiends that seemed like they were interested in commandeering it and taking it for their own, or perhaps they are interested in selling it to the highest bidder. So she had been displaced from her home. When the characters met up with her in Automata, it seemed like interests had aligned, and she felt pretty confident that if you could get access to the castle, that she might be able to repair the mimir, the device, the crystal skull, and maybe help you with understanding what to do next about trying to track down the monodrone. So the character set out. She led you out into the Outlands to where the walking castle had been parked, kind of derelict. It would seem that the fiends were incapable of understanding how the walking castle worked or how it would move, and we're inside trying to figure that out. When you guys all showed up and you got into some combat that didn't really go so well. It turned out that this place was fairly well defended by its fiendish inhabitants, and Zilloff and Baldwin, well, Baldwin twice, but both of them died while this battle took place. The other party kind of got split, and at some point, Cerebella, Klakacht, and Baz all realized that they were outmatched and had to retreat in hopes of maybe fighting another day or you know, getting away from this this terrible situation that they're in. So it's kind of where we're at. We've got a split party at the moment. Cerebella, Clack, and Baz are currently outside of the castle, running to a copse of trees. I think about a mile or so away, where Zier was hanging out, waiting to hear, hoping for good news, but is going to get whatever news you were bringing back for her about the state of the castle. And Zilloff and Baldwin kind of MIA, question mark, question mark, question mark, what's going on with them? So, where we are picking up in terms of the game, the three of you are fleeing. I would say maybe the sky has maybe a little bit of an orangish dim glow, as if nighttime is coming. There's no sun or anything in the sky, but it just feels like maybe light is turning to dark slowly and gradually. Kind of barren. I think this is kind of sandy terrain that you were out in, and so you're kind of kicking up some of that dirt is flying back behind you as you were running. You're taking a look back towards the castle. Doesn't seem that any of the fiends are in pursuit of you, so a little bit of good news for you. It doesn't take too much time before you can see the tree line, and you can see Zier kind of peeking out. She clearly, this Githzerai, she clearly sees that you are approaching, and as you make your way into her company, she says, "Well, there's less of you than before. That doesn't seem too good. I guess, how did it go? Do I need to be running?"
I'm not used to running this much. Just give me a minute. It was not very good. There was quite a few people there, and they were doing some pretty nasty things. But it doesn't look it doesn't look like they're following us. So, you should be okay.
Oh, so they're still the fiends are still in there, huh?
Yeah, that's actually a
Most of
good.
them. Most of them.
They're staying in there, right? Like they're not. They haven't followed us out.
They haven't followed you out.
Okay. Okay.
Are my books okay?
Oh,
Last I checked.
they were throwing around some pretty nasty spells. I don't know if all the books are okay.
Damn it.
Did you happen to see our other people? Did they come out? Are they out here?
No.
Well,
Oh no.
See, you guys were giving me a hard time about losing the Modron. This is how it happens. You get separated. It could happen to anybody.
so our friends are still back there.
Black is feeling like the first time he truly understands what it's like. It's like, oh.
Do you think we should go back right now?
No.
Yeah, I would rather not if it's not safe.
I don't think we would be able to get to them safely, because there were like clouds of killing gas that were doing a pretty good job killing, or almost killing.
So we're just going to leave them there. We're just walking away. That's
Well,
what
I didn't say
everybody's going to
that.
do.
She said, should we go back now? I don't know about you, but I can't take another breath of that gas, or I would be dead, and there would be no one to, go back.
Dude,
So
yeah, what did I leave out? Oh yeah, I left off at a handful of hit points.
yeah, I mean, we might be double digits, all of us together.
Level 6 at 39 hit points.
Well, I guess the good news is it's not moving, so um at least they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, they're not going anywhere. And
We might have interrupted
Cerebella,
him too.
Cerebella's, knows that if they have a possibility of coming back looking very different. And this person does not know that. So, like, how are we going to explain that? Just try to think about those things. We make friends pretty quickly, though. I bet we'd be able to make more friends. Just some random person it might look like, and that we'd be best friends with them already, right?
Yeah. I wish we did that with the guys who were in there.
Yeah, they didn't want to be friends.
No, they weren't interested in friendship.
But the last time we made friends, we made those friends sort of right near where we
Hmm.
we needed
Yeah.
to make
They
friends.
just kind of popped in right when we needed them. We're very lucky with finding friends that way.
Yeah, that is true. They just kind of show up.
I feel like
wonder-
I lost. I'm not understanding your priorities. You like when you lose your friends, you just make new friends. Like, but
Oh,
what about the
sometimes-
friends that you lost? Don't you care about them?
Uh,
they
Yeah.
kind of live on in the friends that we make.
Oh,
So, it's kind of a
We've
symbolic.
I've
we've
heard of
had
a
a lot
lot
of
of philosophies, and this is a new one for me.
but what if our
It's
new
not bad.
friends? What if our new friends have the misfortune of showing up where those bad guys are?
I hope they're very quiet then and hide.
Do we have to
And
go back in there?
I think eventually, yes, but it'd be nice if we could get a little stronger before going back,
Maybe,
right?
maybe like maybe this is like the good segue to go back to see what's going on. I wonder if we left them with the bad guys. That's not good though, because so what do you think you would like to do? It sounds like the group has no interest in heading back into the fray. You're not being
Well,
pursued.
not immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
I don't know.
I think we have to go back.
not without a better plan. Yeah,
And
I
not
think
without some hit points. So, I mean, Cerebella wouldn't be interested in going back right away.
Clack knows they have to go back, but they are avoiding their responsibilities because it was scary in there.
Well, I mean, we have a pretty good vantage point here. Do you just want to take a rest here? We can keep a watch to see if anything comes at us.
I think that
Yeah.
sounds good.
I-
Lick our wounds and then find whether our friends have survived or not.
Mhm.
So the group is going to attempt to make a long rest here under the cover of these trees. I think with that,
Or at least a short one until it's dark and maybe we can sneak closer again, right? Something.
Whichever one, yeah. Whichever type of rest makes sense.
sure. Why don't you go ahead and take a short rest while you guys are mechanically, doing your short rest things. I'm going to flip on over to Zilloff and Baldwin. So let's start first with Baldwin. You're kind of coming out of sort of a dreamy stupor a little bit, waking up in a bedroom that contains two beds. The other appears to be occupied currently, but you're just coming out of what feel like very disconnected dreams. Maybe the most vivid one had you recognize the environment, cold, dark stone all around you. You were accompanied by a number of zombies shuffling around in a dark room. In the dream, you didn't feel very uncomfortable with this. You felt maybe quite at home. But you were in a room watching over a man in a dark robe with a scalpel cutting into a body. You're not really sure what your purpose was there, if you were just an observer, a bodyguard, but given what you know from your original Baldwin self, there was clearly an image of the mortuary. And you feel like it was the second version of yourself, the undead version of yourself, that was watching that scene. But then that dream or image cuts to another in which you were on a boat or a ship, floating in kind of this starry, inky miasma all around you. And the crew of this ship was very, I guess, diverse, to put it frankly. All sorts of different creatures. You yourself seemed to be some kind of a plasmoid creature, an amorphous ooze stuffed into some clothes, which is how you are currently waking up as. But one of the crewmates was a dwarf in that dream that you were having. A dwarf who is occupying the other bed in the room where you currently are. And that dwarf is waking up. That dwarf is Zilloff. And so, Zilloff, you also are having all sorts of... You're coming up out of these crazy dreams and visions that you've been having. It feels like it's been an eternity since the battle with the fiends in the tower. But still, it feels like coming up and out of a really deep, deep sleep. But the thing that woke you up wasn't anything in this room. It was just this voice, the same terrible voice that you've heard many times before. The voice of Tharizdun. And it said to you, your soul can't escape. No matter how many times this happens, I will find you. And that voice, that just nails on a chalkboard, vile being that has been your oppressor for a long time, at least a decade in the mortal world, back in one of your former lives, is the thing that like kind of woke you up. And now you're looking over at the other bed across from you, and there's this... What color, Dawson, is the plasmoid? Green. There's this green blob in sailor's clothes, who seems to be waking up, and you just for some reason you recognize them because you remember being on a ship, a sailing vessel that was floating in the astral sea, and you know that you were crewmates. Maybe it's very fuzzy, but you know that you have some connection to them, that you know them, that you shared an experience, and you believe that you're friends. So the two of you are waking up back in the tower in this bedroom. In terms of sounds or noise, it's quiet in the castle. So the sounds that your last memory of being in the Walking Castle was that there was this big battle taking place. It was loud, there was spell casting, there was explosions. None of that. It's deathly silent.
I will start by trying to get out of bed in like a weird blob form with all these clothes just kind of jumbled up together, and then like he'll land on the floor and then just like resize himself to be that of a more of a humanoid shape, and he'll say, "Well, I think I should know you, but you're a little different." Oh, oh, I don't like the way this feels. Oh God. Oh.
And he's wearing a mask, right?
Yep, bright golden mask and a really obnoxiously large pirate hat.
So for Zilloff, the mask is also a tell that not only did you know them as this plasmoid, but it's Baldwin.
I know you. I know you. You're
What's the code word?
Baldwin.
Code word.
Code word.
On 3.
That's right.
1, 2, and like he's just like it's just one like pseudopod. And then another one comes up from a different spot, and then another one comes up and says 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Banana
Pastries of
muffin.
some kind.
What are you talking about? Whatever.
It's me.
Yeah,
You know, what am I?
Well, I can definitely tell you this. It's definitely not the voice I thought coming out of that body. That is really weird.
No, I'm stuck with his voice. This beautiful voice.
I mean, at least you're not whatever this is.
Oh, but it seems so familiar. I don't. What are we doing? What were we doing? We were fighting, right?
What I recall is a very big axe, at least twice.
Oh.
It really hurt. And then I was like a zombie at one point. That was I don't even know that part.
I'm gonna look down and there's gonna be like a great axe near me, and I'm gonna pick it up. This feels good. This feels good. What are we doing? Getting out of here?
I think that's the right idea. I'd rather not get into another tussle with that guy. At least for now. Boy, I tell you what, he's gore drinker. He deserves that name. Like he's looking around and like from under the bed, he pulls out like this long like metal tube with a wooden frame with like a little wheel on the side of it, which is, if anyone recognizes it, a musket of some sort.
You used to wield that. I remember that. You were good at it too.
I think so. Hold on. And like then he's like kind of like messing with it, filling it, and like another like one of his pseudopods comes out and like attaches this little lever to like the side of it and starts cranking it, kind of almost setting the weapon.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Well, I don't know how to use it, but at least this guy does. I'll tell you, you're here. Holy! That is a look.
Good. Is it good? Do I look nice?
I think you look fantastic. How do I look?
Yeah.
Like he'll take off his mask. Do I still look beautiful?
It's just like wow.
Pretty much.
Well,
I know I'm not there, but what does a leprous plasmoid look like?
Oh no, he's fine. This one's a perfectly healthy plasmoid.
Oh, okay.
Very sticky.
That was 2 Baldwins ago.
Yeah.
That was the last Baldwin.
Late model Baldwin. Sorry for interrupting. I was just like, I gotta know. Like, how do you?
I hop off the bed and like I'm a lot shorter than I've been, and I look up to you. I gotta get used to this though. This is a whole new perspective.
Well, in my previous experience, let's not be loud here.
I don't know. I feel like we just gotta. There's something about this sword.
Yeah.
I just feel like I gotta.
Well, it's a great axe.
I got a lot of anger. You
Well-
see,
well,
I don't know. I just feel like I gotta let it out.
Was just for starters, like, you need to calm yourself down because that's a great X there.
I am calm.
Are you?
I'm calm.
Are you calm?
Yeah, look at me. Do I look calm?
You are the pinnacle of calm right now.
I really
Well,
like this color. I've got to say, I really do like this blue.
Well, personally, I would not like to be killed again in swung with that axe one more time. So he's just gonna like press himself, and like a little bit of him's just gonna smush to the door as he attempts like to listen to see if there's something outside.
You don't hear anything. No activity.
Nothing.
So far,
If I see that son of a bitch, she's going down. You understand that? I don't know. There's something I just feel. I feels he's gonna go down if I see him. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as the two of you exit the bedroom, you're going to see not only the the aftermath of your battle, but pretty much everything is going to be like turned over. Like cabinets are left open. Things are tousled aside. If you go downstairs to where the library is, you'll notice like all the candles in front of the sarcophagus have been taken, and it seems like books are missing. In this office area where the gore drinker originally was, there's like a treasure chest there, totally empty, thrown aside. You get a picture of the fiends must have taken everything that they thought was valuable and have left the castle. There's
Do
no
I see
evidence of them.
Do I see the previous me's on this floor?
Yes, the bodies and such are still there. They're probably like your weapons and like some of the mundane stuff is still there, but any money that you were carrying is gone.
Well, that's a little weird to look at.
It's happened. You get used to it, I guess.
Well, I sure hope not. It already happened twice. So we're gonna happen a third. Oh,
I'm sorry I'm sorry you went down too.
I'm more sorry for myself. I was just it happened so fast. I didn't even get a chance to do anything.
It's not gonna happen again. I'll make sure you're okay.
Well, my track record is so far 0-2, so we'll see.
You caught up. Or I still got one maybe ahead of you. I'm not counted. But I think you're sure they're not here?
I don't see anything about it.
Okay. Hello. I'm gonna yell. Anyone there?
No
well-
response.
Damn it. Well. Oh man, look at those worry lines on that guy. Anyway, I think as I kind of like look at my other body. Oh boy. I'm ready. What are we doing? I don't know. I'm just all I could think of is revenge. Is that what we want to do? Are we trying to revenge? Is that the right term of phrase? To revenge? I want to revenge.
Well, I find that vengeance is a fool's game in most circumstances, but I'm more concerned of where is everyone else.
That's right. There were others.
Uh-huh.
I remember.
At least one of them I remember.
Who?
Something about a queen or something of corn?
There was a queen of corn. Yes. They made me feel like a jar that you want to open, but they kept on keeping the lid tighter. That's how I felt when I was around that person.
You felt like they were like a pickle jar.
Yeah, no, I felt like I was the pickle and they were the hand keeping me out, keeping me in.
I'll tell you, your way with words is truly intriguing
I
to me
was
in
so
most
much better. I
circumstances.
feel like I don't know.
There
It's
was
getting me a bit.
there was also the very stuck-up one who was really all full of himself all the time. There was that person.
It was human.
I think so, and he kept
They
saying
had
there
this
was.
interesting. I remember this interesting. I wasn't sure what they were wearing, but apparently they threw lightning or so. I remember that. I wish they would have talked about that sooner. We probably could have planned a lot better if we knew that they were able to do that.
Yeah, I would probably have just stayed downstairs and not charged up like a fool.
I feel like we're forgetting somebody, and I feel like there were.
I feel like there was someone who was someone else as well. You know what I mean? Like, they were this person, but then they weren't.
Multiple. They were good though. I remember they were. If I was the
Like
pickle, then I feel like they were like maybe like the peppercorn that was like talking to me and my friend a bit. I don't know, and stuck in the pickle jar.
Maybe it's like all the ingredients, yeah, like in the pickle jar. Like that's their jar of pickles is like all of the stuff together to make the pickle.
I'm the pickle. That's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Where are we going?
We should go. Let's just see if they're here somewhere. We didn't talk upstairs at all, did we? Maybe they're already here.
Is anyone upstairs?
There's nobody. You search high and low, and you will find that there is nobody here.
Oh, this is just so frustrating.
On the top level, there's like a pedestal in the center of the room where it seems like there maybe had been something resting. Like it almost seems like maybe there was a table or something there. And in the mortar of the wall, it looks like something had been ripped from the wall that was almost like humanoid shaped. There's still kind of like a silhouette in the mortar that has been like ripped off. Like maybe there was a statue or something that had been like mortared to the wall, but it has been ripped away and is gone.
Well, so much for decorum.
Is that like what is it? That's like decorations and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I wonder why we were fighting. I remember. Yeah.
Also, how long has it been?
I don't. Well, it feels like quite a while.
Here, I have an idea. I'm gonna go back downstairs and investigate my corpses to see, based on if I have any knowledge of medicine, how long I've been dead.
It would be not long enough for there to be any like decay or anything like that. The body would be cold, but yeah, best guess, just based on some of the things that you see here, it's been maybe a couple hours tops. Going back to the statue thing regarding what your characters, it's been a few weeks, but you remember Zier saying she mentioned something called the Castellan, which she said was like a statue-like device that was responsible for allowing the tower to walk and move. So that kind of fits with what you're seeing, is that maybe the fiends had ripped it away or taken it.
If we could, are you good at tracking? Maybe we could track them down and take it.
I mean,
and rip it from their hands.
I mean, I'm as good as the next person, if you ask me.
But we got friends. Friends or revenge?
Or see, it's in the count of three, so we're all on the same page. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Friends.
Friends. Yes.
Friends, yes.
Thank you. I'm really happy you're here. I don't know. I don't think I think I would be doing something totally different if you weren't here.
Trust me, I only tried revenge once. Well, you can see what happened to that guy. Whoa, revenge got you nowhere.
So choosing friends, the two new versions of Zilloff and Baldwin set out to rejoin the group. You as your memories are coming to, you may recall that there was this kind of waiting place or this rendezvous point that you had, and you start to leave the walking castle to make your way in their direction. Cerebella, Clack, and Baz, you're taking a rest, you're recuperating and such. Zier has eyes towards the castle. And we'll say you've been kind of licking your wounds a bit for, it's been maybe like an hour and a half or so. And she starts to get real animated. She says, "Oh, there's somebody coming." She doesn't get real animated. She's still pretty muted in terms of her emotions and things like that. She rouses you to the attention, gets your attention on this plasmoid creature and a dwarf walking across the expanse between you and the castle. And she just says, "They don't look fiendish to me, but sometimes that's a game that the fiends will play."
Baz gets up and he draws a dagger and he's just like hyper alert. How far away are they?
We'll say that they're like 500 feet currently.
So, and when they come into some kind of distance where I can like say something to them, I'm going to say like, like halt, like identify yourselves.
Okay. So, Zilloff and Baldwin, you get within like 200 feet or so, and as you hear Baz call out to you, you recognize like they don't recognize you. They don't know who you are.
Right, this is the part where we say the code word.
All right. I'll
On
count
three?
off this time.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Hello, my little peppercorn.
Banana, not muffin.
I'm gonna turn to the other. Did he say peppercorn?
I think Clack just laughs because he has no idea how to handle it. He just goes.
Which one do you think that one is then?
Oh,
Uh,
that's. Well, I'm gonna say. Well, that one's probably Baldwin.
Are these your replacement friends?
Can I like? Can I? You're gonna go out there and like meet up with them before we get into earshot with the Zier and be like, is it you? It's banana nut muffin, by the way, banana nut muffin. Do we need
right.
Yeah, he
It's-
forgot it then as well, yeah.
It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
This is you, right? This is you.
Yeah, it's me, Zill. Yeah, Zilloff.
I love the hair.
Thank you. I like doing this. It's just, I
Good.
didn't know what I was missing.
And
It
so
feels good.
Baz is gonna like immediately. Nothing changes, but the hair like changes into same like not long, but same color. It's like it's not
Oh.
working for me. It's not working. He just
I
goes
think
back.
it looks good.
He goes back.
Do I look good? I feel weird.
And can I like put my finger out and maybe try to like just touch him?
Very squishy.
You're kind of sticky.
Oh. Yeah, that's been weird.
So
Well, you guys are so smart to disguise yourself that way and alter your appearance so that, the fiends don't realize. I don't know. Just go with it, guys. I don't know. We don't want to.
No, it's just it's us. You know how it works.
Yes, I know exactly. You do such a good job with those spells. It's almost as if you are a dwarf now. Yep, but you're not. You're still Zilloff, our friend.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure.
Yep, and yep, totally the normal, everyday Zilloff.
So things didn't work out very well.
Oh,
I think they
absolutely
worked
not.
out. I think they worked out pretty nice, actually. I'm feeling really good.
How did you get out? How did you get out?
Oh, that's the intriguing part. They're all gone.
What?
They're all gone.
Oh, they're all gone. They took a bunch
Oh.
of stuff and a statue that was upstairs or something. A bunch of books too.
Yeah.
My money has been all gone.
We got to
I'm go-
find them. We got to find them and kill them.
There's nobody. It's empty. There's nobody in there.
Clack would look back to the Githzerai and be like, "They've cleared the castle."
Oh, good.
We cleared the castle. It was just a delayed plan.
Oh, okay. So, should we go inside?
Yes.
I mean, it's
or-
like dark out here, so
You're sure it
Let's-
was empty. You're sure there's nobody waiting.
I feel like I would have sent somebody if I did.
I think we should go. Let's go. Maybe we can find our little guy.
Oh,
oh shit.
Dang, out of nowhere, huh?
Wow.
oh, I forgot
Chris
one thing to
Johnson
say.
just redeemed a
Find
wandering
him and
encounter.
kill him.
What?
No Killer 87.
Go back. We
First
shouldn't
deal
go back
with
to the
this.
castle. Let's just stay right here where it's safe. We don't want to go where things might be wandering around. That could be
Oh,
very dangerous.
The
was this
timing of that.
It's got to
So-
run forward. Don't look behind anymore. It's
You're
just
one
looking
safe
forward
here.
for me.
Remember when Satyr said something about a castellan? That was an actual man now, was it? It was something like, like a statue or a replica of a man, or is it know what I mean?
Can you say that again?
Really hard. The castellan. That thing. Is that like an actual
Castellan.
person? Because that's like a title, or is it like the statue of a person?
The Castellan?
Uh-huh.
I think she was explaining that to us, right? That it was sort of like how the like more of a robot kind of a thing, right?
Oh, we did not see that at all.
You didn't see a robot?
All gone.
All right. Tux, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. I am working on our wandering encounter.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't know exactly where the table is that I'm looking for. I know that the table exists.
Oh, forgot to mention, my bodies are still on the second floor. So we should probably get those out of the way before Satyr sees if we want to remain incognito.
Right.
People just don't seem to like it when the dead come back as other people. So I don't think we should say that to, our
What if
friend
he
here.
what if he says like I shed my immortal skin and became this thing who I was all along?
I don't think
Dawson,
that
why
makes
don't
it
you
any
give me a
better.
D100?
Uh-oh. By me.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Because you were the person that was talking.
Big
60. Oh, okay.
That's hard to read. That's very hard to read. At least it wasn't so I think.
Well, yeah, if she asked, that's the story we're gonna go with.
Okay.
That you shed your mortal coil and became a blob. Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that's
What-
how that works.
What about, Junior over there? Like he just decided to take a couple feet off or something? How do you explain that?
Mm. Magic.
All right.
Beans did it to me. Technically, it's not lying.
He's a pickle, so who knows?
Oh, no. You already were difficult to understand, and now you're just not making any sense.
So yeah, are you the pickle, and then there's the peppercorn, and then like, is Baldwin the jar, and like Clack is the brine, and then Cerebella is the lid? Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes.
Are you trying to distinguish this group as a metaphor for a pickle jar? Is that what's going on here? Was that what you were trying to say, Zilloff? Because oh boy, because if that was what you're going for, oh,
That's
I did
exactly
not
what I
get
was
that.
saying. That's
Are we a-
exactly what I was saying.
Are we a sweet or sour or spicy pickle jar?
Uh, I don't
There's
know you
also
well enough.
We
different
are a
types of
standard dill.
pickles.
All right. Is that the, I don't know what's happening. Are you guys like at the conclusion of
We're just
whatever you're
walking.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
so
just
you're
walking.
walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Killing time for you there.
So, you are making your way to the walking castle with Zathier. And as soon as you get inside, and you enter into like the library, and she sees like everything that has happened, all the books that are in disarray, she just goes, "Oh no, oh no, oh no," and she's like rushes over and she's like checking. It looks like she's going to like very specific like shelves, and she says, "Oh," and she's referencing, all these volumes of, you don't know why it's important, some of these books, but it seems to be really important to her. And then she rushes over to the sarcophagus, and she's like, "Oh, they took the candles," and and she's like checking like the crystal lid of the sarcophagus where there's a mummified Gazeri interned there. And she's like, "Is it damaged? Is he okay? This is not good news. You said they took the Castellan? Now we'll never get this thing to move."
Um, yeah, that's. I mean, do you think we could track them down somehow, or how would they have gotten here and left? Is
They,
there?
they probably plane shifted.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like something we can do.
Oh. And then you hear, so here's the wandering encounter. "Daughter, what have you done?" And you look over and you can see there's like two Gazeri, a little bit older than she is, at the door. And they're looking around at like this place has just been obliterated. And there's just a familial connection there you can sense between Zathier and them. And then like there's a one of them is a elderly Gazere male, and the other is a female. They're both wearing kind of very similar clothing to Zathier as well, kind of these flowing kind of robes. And the female just says, "This was our birthright. This is everything to our family, and you've allowed it to go into such disarray. You ought to be ashamed of yourself." And she's just like looking around like, "But you, Mom, Dad, you left me all alone. You left me all alone." And you can see that the male and the female Gazera, they take to the stairs and they like head upstairs. And Zathier is just sitting there. She just like kind of slumps to the ground in front of the sarcophagus and is just buries her face in her hands.
Oh, are those your parents?
Yes.
What were you supposed to do? The place was overrun by fiends. Where were they?
I don't know. They were back in limbo. Somehow they must have heard that things weren't right here. I send, and she'll explain that she was the one, her father and her mother cared for this place and would wander about the outlands themselves collecting information, adding to their library and adding to their understanding of the multiverse. And it's a kind of a hereditary thing. It gets passed down through the family from generation to generation to take up this responsibility, and it's just passed down like that.
I know all about parents who aren't happy with the way that their kids are turning out.
I think you're turning out just fine. The both of you. You're doing great. Are you mad at them? Maybe you should just yell at them. If you're feeling upset, you should just yell at them.
I mean, that's a lot of emotion to just let out, and once it's out there, you can't take it back. I think, just maybe think it through a little bit.
Say sorry.
Just, I don't know. Sometimes confrontation is not a good thing.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it is.
Zier gets up and she goes over to Klakacht and hands you the skull. And she says, I have to go and deal with this. It seems like you're pretty good with, I don't know, there's an inventiveness about you. When I first showed this to you, it seemed like you could understand it in some way. Look, and then she's gonna like kind of have you like look into like kind of like the top half hemisphere, like the hemisphere of its skull is open. It's just like gears and parts and whatever that aren't really turning.
Mhm.
And she's gonna point out to you that she thinks there's some pieces that are bent. There's a few pieces that are missing. Like she's kind of pointing out to you like the flaws that she knows about it in hopes that you'll be able to learn something about it. And she says, I hope this helps you to find your Modron friend. I wish I could help you with repairing it, but I think it's in your hands now.
You have done more help than you know. Thank you. I'm sorry we couldn't help you more.
Well, we have the castle. At least it's gone. We've gotten rid of those fiends. I mean, if you hadn't done that, it could have been worse if my parents showed up. So,
What does sorry. What does the I forget the name of it. The Castellan, what does that look like?
Oh, she would tell you it's a big statue. Like it's a device. Like it walks, it moves, and its movements mimic or mirror the castle's movements. So when it walks in place, the castle would walk in place and turn and things like that. So it being missing means that the walking castle will not be able to be activated.
Right. He doesn't want to promise anything, but he wants to be able to know if he identifies it or if anyone identifies it, that they'll be able to bring it back to them. So at least it kind of finish what was started here.
She tells you that she would be forever in your debt if you were able to find it. It's very ancient Gazeri technology. It's not something that is, you can't just go and buy a new one or replace it. It's very old. And attuned specifically to this castle, so it has to be that specific device. So she thanks you. She'll take her leave of you and go up the stairs. She'll kind of point out very quickly a few books that might help you with the she will now use the word mimir to describe it. And she'll take her leave of you, go up the stairs to attend to the familial business.
And probably get the shock of her life when she sees,
Yeah.
Zilloff and Baldwin dead in the hallway, but
The parents go upstairs and as they're having this conversation, they finally reach the top. They're like, "What the hell is this?"
So from the meta standpoint of, yes, this didn't go well defeating the fiends. And so what are the consequences? Like, if you had, you would have been able to use this as your transportation device to go throughout the Outlands and avoid wandering encounters and things like that. Also, all the magic items that were here are not here. So those are I guess the consequences of when death isn't a consequence. What is the consequence? So those are the types of things I'll be trying to incorporate when things are not a success. As far as the wandering encounter here, I don't know if that's like it just said like Githzerai wanderers, so I was like, okay, let's do something connected to Zapier. She could automatically do all of the things that you need with the device. She is now going to get pulled away from here by her parents, and so it's up to you to figure it out. So I'm going to need some skill checks from, I'm presuming it's Clack, because you make sense to be the character to do these, but it could be someone else if you decide.
I'll help happily make some skill checks. See if I could figure stuff out.
So you're going to be staying here the night, and so some of this work you're going to be doing, you all take a long rest. Why don't you give me a intelligence check, and you've got some kind of like tinker's tools or something that you're proficient in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do the...
Yeah, I have smiths and tinkers and all the fancy tools.
So give me a intelligence check with your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Intelligence check plus proficiency. So whatever this will be, +3. There it is. So 19.
19. Okay. So with like about an hour's work, you've got a little toolbox that has pieces and parts. So you're replacing some of the parts, you're, fixing things that have been damaged. And eventually you start to see the parts start to spin and are working fluidly. The thing kind of lights up and it starts floating like around you.
Oh.
Let me pull up the image of that, because I don't remember if I showed this to you or not. That's what it looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's floating about above your head, and the gears are moving. There's a little bit of like maybe just a slight grayish kind of aura around it. And it's speaking. It's just saying, error, missing data, error, missing automata, error, missing cursed, error, missing Excelsior. And it just keeps like running through these names: Automata, Cursed, Excelsior, Faunal, Glorium, Rigus, Sylvania. One of the words you recognize, Automata, as the gate town that you most previously were at.
I was gonna say, so if one of these is a gate town, well, okay, sorry. So there was error, automata, and it sounds like it's going through a lot of names of what I'm assuming would be gate towns. I feel like there was something else in there, and I didn't have a chance to write it down.
Cursed, Excelsior.
Cursed. That's what it was. Cursed and Excelsior.
And there would be a map somewhere in here of the Outlands, and you'll be able to very easily verify that, yes, these 7, they're not all the gate towns, but they are gate towns. I think there's like 12 gate towns or something, but 7. There's 7 in total that it's listing off.
Okay.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana. 23.
So, a couple of things as you've been working on this thing, and maybe you've been referencing some of the books that were pointed out to you. What you know about this device is that it receives data. It's a device for collecting information that can then be retrieved later. In the case of this one, based on what it's reporting out to you, is that it probably has information. It's physically been repaired, but these missing data points seem to be kind of creating a glitch with it where it's not usable to pull out information from it currently. And what you think you know about it is that information could be restored if the device was brought back to these places and the connections restored.
But how would we do that? How would we restore the connections if we're in a certain gate town?
I'd have to take a look once we're in the gate towns, but I imagine it has something to do, and he'll like flip the scroll over to like where like that input port is. I imagine we'd have to stick this on some kind of connector tidbit, and that'll give the missing data back that it requires.
Well, did it mention the town that isn't that Automata? So maybe we should go back there and see if we can figure out if
Rome was messing with this, then perhaps heading to the towns to try to make progress on this thing will help us find where Rome is. Maybe.
Well, he's not here. And this was the only lead that we had.
So the way that it works is you need to take this device and bring it within 5 feet of the portal in each of the gate towns. If you recall, each of the gate towns has a portal that would lead to the outer plane that it is sort of synced up with or is aligned with. So like Automata, you saw that there was a portal that led to Mechanus where that train was going in and out of. There was a big long line of people that were trying to pass through the portal, and there were like Modron guards that were kind of one by one checking people in to be able to go through the portal. So that's where you need to, something like that in each of these towns. You have to bring the device and within 5 feet of the gate, record your impression of the location.
Interesting. Okay.
So by default, I'm going to say this thing is attuned to you, Clack. So when this were to happen, you would, activate the device. It would collect its information, but then you also would influence the data that is going into it. So you would give an impression of what you see, think, things you feel about that location.
Interesting. Okay. Give impression on location at time of connection. Huh. Curious what it does with this data. Like, what did a Modrone that was doing financial stuff for that was doing financial stuff want to do
Chimesca.
with this? Yeah. Yeah, for why can't I think? For a
Chimesca.
casino. Yeah, for like Shemeska and the casino. Like, how does
Maybe she has offshore accounts in all these different places, and that's what the skull would keep track of.
there's a thought.
How about
Offshore
we just find the first place closest to us and we get going there, huh?
Is that the gate that is in the town, or is it like the portal that we came through?
The portal the gate portal that is in town in
In the town.
Automata that the train was going through. The train with the mustache. Sorry.
And where does that gate go?
Mechanus. It's the plane of law and order, the home of the Modrons. It's a very orderly, hierarchical plane.
I'm very confused.
Like another dimension kind of thing.
No, I'm very confused about why we need to find information through Clack for these gates to restore the data to find a Modron.
Perhaps this is the information the Modron had.
Right.
And then he broke it.
The Modron, this is the only connection we have to the Modron right now is this non-usable item. So if it becomes usable, maybe we'll be able to see what the Modron wanted us to know and therefore be able to find it.
Well, then we should head off to the gates.
Or we go hunt down those damn fiends and get back what's rightfully hers.
Then St. Theo say they like plane shifted or
You
something.
know how
These
to
are the
plane
two
shift?
choices.
But there's gates, right? There's gates everywhere. I remember going through a gate once, riding into battle against these fiends. And well, I guess we could find that too. Very simple. Just
How did it work out for you that time?
well, I don't know. I'm here. It wasn't really. I don't know. I didn't get that far in the dream. Probably not. Probably didn't go good. I don't know.
So, it seems like the group is going to take the plot and progress forward with the
Let's
search for
take
the
over the
Modron.
gate.
I mean, you could totally ditch the mission, and I don't know what we'll do then, but
Just keep jumping through random planes.
we could do
looking
that.
for
Yeah.
You know, I have
you
dreams
know.
of flying through space and like taking down ships.
Me too.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I
you
think
were
it-
there.
Oh.
That's the bizarre thing. That's weird.
You were wearing
Wait.
a mask.
You guys have known each other in the past, or
It's so bizarre, man.
are these your memories or these other memories that you have?
I don't like thinking about that. Like I said, we're not thinking about the past. We're just going ahead. Going ahead. That's what we're doing. We're not looking back. We can't stop. We just got to keep on stepping.
Mm-hmm. You
Stepping
know,
on to Automata again.
Wherever. Just
Right.
point me.
We're going to get accosted by
Just don't want to
authorities.
stay. Just don't want to sit here and just start thinking too long. Just want to keep on going.
Her parents were really annoying, though, aren't they?
It seemed a little harsh.
I
I'm
mean, look
sorry.
at this place. It is a mess. It's kind of, and if she was responsible, I could see them being a bit miffed, but
But that's like it's like getting upset at your child because home invaders came in. Like
It's not like she was throwing a party and we didn't get the bodies out in time.
I'm sorry,
Why
Chris
didn't you-
Johnson,
why
if
didn't
you were
get the bat?
disappointed with that wandering encounter, but I was hoping for Time Dragon.
Ooh.
We got Gazeri Wanderers.
I mean, we wouldn't have known if you picked Time Dragon.
I
Alex,
gotta
could you
honor
repeat-
the dice.
Alex, could you repeat the 7 names that the skull gave?
Sure, and at some point I can after the session I'll. So this is how the next mini sessions are going to go. Is like each episode is going to be kind of a little bottle episode of you going to this gate town and dealing with a thing and experiencing the town. The 7 towns are Automata, Cursed, Excelsior, Faunal, Glorium, Rigus, and Sylvania. That's right, Casey. It's a good table. There's some fun stuff on it, but maybe next time. Well, they don't have a walking castle now, so we can really pile on the wandering encounters in between these different towns that they're going to be venturing to.
And it might be more than one episode per.
It might
town.
be. It's probably going to
Right.
extend things a little bit.
Baz is going to be like, how far did we walk to town? How far back is it?
So, yeah, to Automata, I don't remember. Was it like a day? I think I kept it pretty short, didn't I?
I think we left in the afternoon and like arrived later that day or
Yeah.
something.
So in the morning, you'll set out from the castle and make your way, back through the Outlands, back towards Automata. Just like a little bit, of recall about what this place was like. This was the physical environment reflects the orderliness of this gate town that is right next to a gate that leads to this plane of law and order. The streets are very straight. Everything is like 90-degree angles. People walk single file, it seems like, without second thought. Like it just is how it is for them. Everything, all the tops of the buildings are perfectly aligned. They're all like 2-story buildings. Everything just exudes order. And as you start to approach, you'll see the great mechanized gate at Automata's center seems to be closed. There's hundreds of travelers. You saw this when you first came here. That there was a line, there was a queue there. There was single file and whatnot. It's looking a little bit rougher, though. It seems like people aren't passing through the gate. There's Modrons up by the gate that were kind of like the, I don't know, the Mechanist TSA or whatever. Like, they seem like they're not letting people through. And so that orderly line is starting, not fully, but it seems like people are starting to step out of line. Dare I say, a crowd maybe is starting. Not really a crowd. They're just, people are starting to get a little closer, bunching up a little bit. People are getting impatient. Things are clearly breaking down with the system. And the train, with its big googly eyes and mustache, its eyes are closed. The train is not moving. People are not boarding the train.
What do you think's going on?
I don't know. The train was working earlier, wasn't it?
It seemed to be. I mean, people were going through and it looked nice and orderly. I mean, maybe it's just got, like maintenance. It's down for maintenance or something.
Does it look like there's anybody around trying to do any kind of like repairs or, I mean, not crowd control, but more like mechanical type things?
Nothing like that, no. At least no. There isn't like a widespread effort to like repair anything. It doesn't look like things are damaged. But as you are looking around, looking for signs of what is wrong, you do see a stiff-looking Gazeri man who you recognize, who is like marching over towards you. He spots you.
Oh no!
And
this
he
guy.
has a big, sharp mustache himself. Sharp uniform, big golden star on it, and he
Is
says,
he carrying our research?
he is not carrying research, but he's wagging a finger at you. He says, "Where did you go? I thought we were going to meet up. I did all this research for you. We were going to deal with the anarchist element in this town, and you weren't there."
You finished much more quickly than we anticipated. I underestimated the speed and efficiency of your organization system, and we thought we would kill time by taking care of another outline of anarchy out in the
What?
lands.
Can we like kind of whisper to Cerebella and say, what was he supposed to be looking for us?
Oh, I don't really pay attention to those kind of
Moldron.
things. It was we were being accused of not, like the whole anarchy thing. Remember when you tried to convince him of things that none of us really understood what you were even saying? You were like,
Usually what happens, yeah.
yeah. And you were saying we were the ones sent by somebody, and then you didn't know who the person was that sent us. And I
But-
think you confused him. I think you accomplished your goal of confusing him because it sure
Excellent.
confused me.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Was it that they didn't have like a record of him, the Modron, or something?
I think you were
Have a
looking
record
for
of the
like,
most
has
done.
he ever come or gone from the gate? Basically,
Right.
Right.
And they didn't know.
They didn't have a record of us either, and that was part of the problem. So
So what's the problem with all the record keeping around here? Is that what's happening here?
Well,
The train can't go?
I'll tell you what the problem is. Those anarchists got a hold of the logbook, and now nobody can come and go, and it's
Okay.
people are getting disorderly.
Well, boy, we can't have stuff like that. That would be dreadful.
I don't know what's going to happen if it gets too much. I mean, the line's getting backed up. The train ain't moving. It's not good.
Maybe-
We can't let the
maybe
anarchists win.
just let people on the train, even though you don't have your logbook. Then you'd keep things- yeah, I know it's big. It's a big idea, but you'd keep your order. You'd keep things going. See, it'd be a
When did-
trade-off there.
You say anarchists stole the logbook?
Yeah, the discordant elements that you said you were here to deal with.
Right. When was that? When did they steal? When did you notice the logbook was missing?
It was yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, someone was left.
Right, and now I'm getting some suspicions about you five.
Dude, has it really
come
been
back
a whole day?
Wow. Um,
where do you? Go ahead.
So go ahead.
Where do you keep the logbook usually? Like, where is it? Where's the place that it's kept?
Well, this particular logbook, it would be with the train conductor, but he doesn't have it.
Maybe he's part of the anarchists, and
No,
he just took it. Yeah.
no, I know who has it. I know who has it.
Oh.
who has it? Do they
Hold
need
on.
a spanking? I could give him a spanking with this big boy.
Oh,
I
that
don't-
just sounds creepy now, Zilloff. Don't be saying things like that.
I don't.
I don't know. It just came out. I don't know. It's not me talking.
Practice it in your head first, and then say it out loud.
Thank you for the follow, Damn Squirrels 98. Dirty squirrels.
Good name.
So
That's awesome.
he's going to tell you. So he's obviously miffed that you all said you were here to solve a particular problem, and then when you were gone, that very real problem ended up stealing this logbook. So he's
Oh, it happened while we were gone, so we're in the clear.
yeah. Well, he is now coming to you and saying like you need to deal with this. You need to fix this, and you need to get the logbook back from
Yeah.
Beltha.
Some justice. I'm ready to lay down some heavy justice on him.
We are known for our sleuthing.
I feel like this is a very acceptable terms of the contract. However, of course, compensation will be required.
And he
Oh,
says,
is that a thing we can do?
I don't know why I said that. I think that just like money seems like really split to me now.
Probably
I
because we don't have any.
Yeah, because you don't have.
It really does speak to you.
But here's the thing: I've never had anything to begin with, and now I really want some.
There's 5 of you. I'll give you 250 gold each.
And placed in front of the line to Mechanus.
Done.
He extends a third pseudopod from his body to give a handshake.
He holds out his hand. Actually, he's not like super weirded out about that. Like he goes in and shakes your hand, no problem.
And then a weird, like, almost like croaky noise comes from as he starts speaking Gith. Pleasure doing business with you.
Oh, you are quite the Renaissance ooze.
I have no idea what's going on. This is just so weird. I would never say this. What is happening?
Well, let me tell you what I know. I believe that it was stolen by an outlaw named Beltha. She is a Gizeri who is a known leader of the discordant element that lives beneath Automata in the inverse. And he'll explain to you that the inverse is an underground complex of tunnels and machinery that sprawls beneath Automata, and it does not have the same lawful feel as Topside. There are a lot of this discordant element that has moved into Automata that dwells down there, almost kind of like a very... To be a organized gang would be antithesis of what they're trying to do, but a lot of like-minded individuals dwell down there, and their shared philosophy is starting to change and turn. Like their goal is to see Automata break down and become lawless. So the stealing of this logbook is an attack on everything that Automata represents. So he wants you to return the logbook, capture Beltha so that she can face justice. He'll pay you double what he just quoted you if you can bring her in alive.
And I'm sorry, what was the name of the individual again?
Beltha.
Beltha or Beltha?
Beltha.
It is Beltha. Okay.
He
Sorry,
tells
I had
you
trouble
that
hearing it.
Beltha has a distinctive tattoo around her left eye that looks like a shattered gear. It is a symbol of this anarchist movement. I believe they call themselves the Hands of Havoc.
That's catchy.
Those that have the same philosophy. She can point you to how you could get to the inverse if you wanted to go down there. She would basically say, throughout Automata, if you see a staircase that leads down into an alleyway or a sewer grate, any of those are access points that can lead down underground. He'll also tell you that he has heard that Beltha has previously met with contacts at the Divine Machine, which is the tavern that you went to where you met Zier.
Does he know, like, what kind of contacts this is the only individual that he believes this is the ringleader, this is the one we have to focus on?
Yeah, this is the person that he believes stole it.
Just kind of curious, who, what, when, where. What's keeping you and your people from going down there and getting it back yourself?
He will say that he could go down there and try to deal with it, but he's known. He's very recognizable, and so
yeah, you are. It's very like I recognized you right away when you were coming up to us. So
It's a magnificent mustache.
Baz is going to say, along the same lines, Baz is going to be like, so if it's a logbook that you need to keep the traffic moving, what happens when you fill up this logbook? Like, could you just start a new logbook? Could you just start a new logbook and get people moving again, and we'll go look for your old logbook?
No, he would describe it as like this is like a magical artifact. Like it has to be this item to keep things moving.
What does the logbook look like?
He'll describe a brown leather tome. Has almost like it's got almost like that golden kind of fringe on the outside of the pages. Really old, really old pages towards the front, but then like it conjures up like new pages towards the back of the book, and it just sort of like cycles on its own, a cycle of renewal. Has a big cog wheel like embossed on the front of the cover.
If I remember right too, when we saw it, it was like a sizable book too. So
Yeah, like a big
I feel,
heavy tome.
That stuff dating back hundreds of years.
yeah, I feel like we should be able to find it.
Should we go talk
Let's-
to the conductor? Who usually has the logbook?
I mean, what would you hope to gain from that conversation? If we know where it is now, shouldn't we just go get it?
I guess I would like to know. This place runs 24 hours, right? So how is it stolen?
Mm.
Or perhaps I'm just overthinking it.
We can invent answers to these questions. We'll say that that's how they know it was Beltha, because he was like it was like mage handed out of her hands, like the conductor was like distracted, and then it was magically like whisked out of their hands, and they saw Beltha like abscond with it down into the tunnels.
Man.
Not very subtle, huh?
Not subtle at all. Almost like they wanted everyone to know that the book was gone, and
Create havoc
yep.
with their hands. Yep.
Now the question is how to get access to this place.
Yeah, what's the quickest way there?
To get down into the inverse,
Yeah.
he'd probably point you to there's like a resident or kind of like a warehouse looking building nearby, and there's like a street access like staircase that leads down, and at the base of it there's like a metal grate that seems like it goes into like kind of like a sewer area or under the streets.
We're not gonna have to wait in line, right? We could go straight there. What if someone stops us? I just want to get. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Someone steps in front of me, but I want to get there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop. Is what I'm saying. So once we get going, there's no stopping. You understand? Can you give me do you have like a little paper clip or something that you could give me that tells others that we're under official business? Is what I'm saying.
Like a badge. Give
A badge.
give her a badge.
He rips out some pieces of parchment out of his pack, and he does some origami and like gives you each like a little paper star badge.
Ooh.
Oh, we
You're
have
now
been
deputies of
deputized.
Automata.
This is pretty.
It's the best I can do in this moment, but I mean the creases are perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice work. Very nice work.
It is phenomenal.
All right.
No one's going to give you any funny business, and if they do,
All right.
you lay down the law, apply directly to their face. The law.
With these paper sheriff stuff.
It's tough times in Automata. We're starting to people aren't lining up quite right, and I think the sun is. I think the daylight is just a little bit shorter, and the wind changed directions a couple of times in unpredictable patterns. I don't like that. We need to get these hands of havoc under control, and it starts with getting that book.
And so he mentioned that they made contact with somebody at the Divine Machine. Like, who should we talk to there? Does he have a contact for us there?
I don't have a contact or a name. I just know she frequents there, or has in the past. I don't know if that's much help, but it's what I know.
Perhaps we could be new inductees of Havoc, one might say. You know, looking to cause a little trouble ourselves, perhaps gain some riches along the way. Hmm?
Are you suggesting we join the forces of anarchy?
What a better way to get closer than be a part of it.
Oh
I mean,
goodness, that would be like meta anarchy if you're an anarchist against the anarchists, right? Like
Whoa.
But then we
That's-
punch
That's
him.
what- Isn't that what?
Force. Well, I'll punch.
Yeah.
I feel like I could punch in a straight line.
Think about it.
Oh,
That would be a great way to get respect with the anarchists, is to punch them in the face. That means they've been human business.
yeah. I think I'm ready. I don't know what plan we're doing. I heard a lot of them, but
So
you just tell me which way you go. I'll look down and follow your feet, and that's where we're going.
So do you want to infiltrate the anarchists, or do you want to just go down there and punch them in a straight line?
You know my answer. But I'm listening. I haven't started yet.
But I don't think you're talking like that. My suggestion is we go to the Divine Machine.
Can you say that again? I can't understand you now.
Voice is so weird.
Is that we go to the Divine Machine and pose as, rough and tumble adventuring types that could use a little work of a more unethical persuasion.
and then when we get in there, we just grab the book and leave. That's kind of the
Well,
idea.
no, I don't
once-
think she's gonna have it, but this is
No. Once we get in, we infiltrate, not get into the tavern, but get into.
that'll be the end goal eventually.
Yeah.
But we gotta, determine where it is, where it's being kept, what she's doing, possibly arrest her in the name of the law.
Oh, that sounds like so much work, though.
We'd have to hide our
Can't we
stars
just have
too.
Zilloff punch them if that goes much faster?
Well, that could be a part of it. We're considered bounty hunters and, deputized in the law. We can use reasonable force. We're hunting a bounty, no? We're getting paid to hunt a person.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's good, right?
I mean, I'm not sure how persuasive this group is in infiltrating areas. Are we good at that? Is there anybody in this group that might be able to, lie convincingly about,
Do you
wanting
know,
to join?
my numbers say that I am, but
Based on the results of our last attack.
My background would say I would be good at this kind of thing for negative persuasion stuff, but apparently no. I have okay stuff.
Yeah. So
don't
maybe
even-
there's a chance.
This is the first step. This is just plan A. Plan B can be walking in a straight line and punching things.
Okay. So we try to convince the chaos people that we want to create havoc, and if that doesn't work, then Zilloff creates havoc and just starts punching people.
But we gotta persuade them somehow that we're not into the whole business of law. So how are we gonna do
We're
that in the
not
tavern?
in the whole business of law. I mean,
Listen.
aside from these stupid stars, we really aren't very lawful.
Hey,
I don't think
listen.
so.
This is important.
It's not law, it's
You see
order.
this here? Nobody gets in our way. Not even ourselves.
I mean-
stop being that lid.
technically we are kind
You
of.
gotta let the pickle juice out every once in a while and breathe.
No,
You gotta
again,
burp it.
That might have been better in your head, Zilloff. That's something that doesn't need to be expressed out loud.
It's what I can do. No, you're doing it again. You just did it.
Come on, Cerebella, let him burp the
Anarchy.
pickle jar. Let him burp it.
There's pickle juice all over the place. That's disgusting. doing?
I'm gonna go to the tavern now. See you guys
All
there.
right, sounds good.
I'm gonna follow him.
So you all make your way. Yep, Casey's on it. You may all make your way over to the whatever it's called, the Divine Machine, which
I mean,
is
just want to say, technically, we are fugitives from the law. We are kind of like chaotic already. Maybe we should go into the Divine Machine, like saying, "Well, we just saw some really crazy stuff out." Because they probably saw us there with what is his name, Zier, and we were there, right? They know us already. It's not like we're walking in new. And say, wow, we just really saw some crazy stuff happening out there, and we've got, some information about some crazy stuff that just happened.
Sounds like a wonderful opportunity for you to try your persuasive charm again there.
Oh yeah. I have no. Okay, let's go.
all right. So you guys enter into the Divine Machine, which was I don't know if you remember, but basically the entire place is sized for halflings. So you got little kiddie tables and booths and whatnot. It seems like people tolerate this, and
It's you better now.
people of all shapes and sizes are seated, sometimes uncomfortably at these spots. The place is owned and operated by Belda Beanfoot, who will get to getting you some drinks. Definitely has a very it's got more of a cafe feel than a tavern, although they sell alcohol, but there's like a heavy smell of like ground coffee beans and espresso in the air.
The most orderly of drinks.
Yeah, all of their drinks like have like multi steps, like there's like 10 steps to making the drink and really complicated ingredients and all that kind of thing. So explain to me again what your approach or your idea is.
So my idea was kind of be like, the mysterious person sitting in the corner with their hood down, feet up on the table, waiting for someone to come in and be like, checking out, see if any of the known game members or
Gotcha.
other people like that would walk in, and then begin to do work from there.
Sure. Sounds good.
That's my idea, at least.
So you're waiting around about an hour or so, and you see someone that strikes your eye immediately as they walk in. There's a dwarf who has kind of like a graying brown beard that's a little bit unkempt. Has wearing leather cloak, kind of tattered clothing, but they have a tattoo around their eye that looks like a shattered cog. It matches the description of the tattoo that you got from the sheriff about Beltha. But, couldn't be Beltha. Beltha's a Githzerai, and this is a dwarf. But they go up to the bar, they get a drink, they get a beer in a stein, and then they go and they sit down at a table kind of nearby where you're seated, Baldwin. Baldwin, you're by yourself?
That's up to the group.
Or is the group sitting together?
I mean, I would be, I think, I don't know. What is everybody else doing?
I'm not sitting by the group.
Clack isn't strong enough in this area, so I feel like Clack would separate himself.
I was following Baldwin's slime trail, so I will be behind Baldwin.
Okay.
I'll be there too, but I will have taken my star off before I went,
Okay.
went in.
So let's see if
I'll be with Clack, just kind of watching
Okay.
what's going on.
So Cerebella and Clack are at one table, Baldwin, Baz, and Zilloff are at another. The dwarf has a seat, and maybe it kind of looks over at the table where Zilloff, Baldwin, and Baz are seated, and just kind of, I don't know, gives a little bit of a, just like a look, like a, not a nice look. You don't feel good after they give you that look. It's almost like they're judging you a little bit, but then they go to sipping on their beer. And it looks like they, too, are kind of surveying the tavern.
Does it look like there's anybody else in here that they might be with that isn't obviously sitting with them?
Make an insight check.
$11.
There doesn't seem to be anybody else that's paying any attention to the dwarf. He rummages around and eventually pulls out like a small pouch that sounds like maybe has some coin in it. And he like throws the pouch down onto the table and like very, very deliberately like opens it up and just puts it on the edge of the table and kind of kicks back. Would you like to take any actions or want to wait longer to see what happens? Sounds like waiting. So he sits here for 3 hours. And over the course of this 3 hours, occasionally somebody walks by the table and like throws some gold into the bag. And then you see that they walk past him and he like passes them like a little slip of parchment. And then they walk out of the bar.
And that was like one person did that, or
A couple,
many people? are doing
couple of
that?
people, couple of characters come into the bar and do that. At the conclusion of these 3 hours, he stands up. He goes over to the pouch, collects it, and he starts to make his way for the exit.
I would like to maybe try to follow him.
Okay. Without being seen?
Yes,
Would you
stealthily,
like some company?
if you want to. I just want to see like where he's going. I was thinking about following one of those
This
people
is
that.
the step one. This is to know our audience.
Yes,
In
We're-
that
we're not
case,
gonna punch anybody in a line or anything.
So Baldwin
That-
and Baz, go ahead and make a stealth check.
before we head out, I will somehow mutter a few words of magic and cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Sounds good.
You know, plus 10 to your stealth check.
Make your
So-
token rolls. So it's a 23, right?
23.
So the two of you quietly make your way out, and you will see that the dwarf leaves and he makes his way down a side street where there's a metal grate in the street, embedded in the street. He like lifts the grate aside. There's a ladder that he starts climbing down, and he pulls the grate like overhead and descends downward.
Can you hear anything from down there? Like any other voices, or is it just too far? It's like
It sounds like he descends maybe a distance of 20 feet or so, and then you hear the echoing sounds of his feet on what sounds like cobblestone, and he like is exiting off in some tunnel. No voices.
I wonder if the barkeep. I wonder if he does this all the time at this place.
Well, possibly if it's a common occurrence for him to people put gold in his pouch and they get something from him.
A little slip of paper.
I thought it was more of a test to like steal his gold pouch, and if like you did a good job, he then say that's pretty good of you, man. But no, apparently we play the man to do that, which seems counterintuitive for anarchists.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I've never seen that kind of thing before. I wonder if he like. I think we should go back and tell the others what we saw. I want to ask to see if this guy comes in here all the time.
Okay,
If
so you
there's
guys are
other-
returning to the tavern and asking about him.
Yeah.
The barkeep would say, yeah, she knows who
Yeah.
you're talking about. She's seen him in there before. He stops in maybe like once a week or so.
He did a thing with the pouch of gold. Like, what was that all about? Do you know what that was all about?
She says she doesn't know what his business is. She hasn't wanted to get involved. She knows what that gear tattoo on his eye means, and that he's involved with the Hands of Havoc. She doesn't want any trouble. She knows that those people on occasion are at the tavern, but she doesn't want to endanger her business with getting the sheriff involved or getting involved herself. They pay. They don't cause any problems for her.
Does anybody else do that? Come in with the gold and give out little slips of paper?
She says, no, that seems to be his MO, but she assumes that he's selling information, selling the location of something. She doesn't really know. She
Does she
probably
know
speculate
any-
drugs, maybe.
Does she know any of the people who were involved with the interactions?
No. Like not specifically, no.
I should have stole his gold. I would have given it to you, Baldwin.
Granted, I was heavily debating also just stealing the gold, but I missed the opportunity, is what we'll say. Once a week, huh? Yeah. So I assume this is not going to happen again for another visit. So this is what we call we botched that opportunity because, they didn't jump the gun.
Does that mean that?
Sounds like plan B is the option now.
It's time to
Alright,
let
everybody.
the pickle out of the jar. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I feel like
Everyone, file up in a line behind me.
Hmm. It
All right.
worked so well the last time we infiltrated a place, didn't it?
Choo.
Just
There we
act like-
go.
Just act like you belong.
Oh boy. This seems like our doom.
Mhm.
Oh gosh. Getting a little bit scared here.
All right. So if I'm inferring what you're doing, you're wanting to go down into the inverse now and see if you can find Beltha's lair.
The one thing I can do is I can change and make myself look like that dwarf and go down there. If I could, like, if you guys wanted me to do that and come with, I can be like, hey, these guys want to join the crew.
I mean, I could all give us temporary tattoos that look like broken gears too, so that maybe if people don't look that closely, I've got my makeup bag here. I could give it a go.
I get tattoos.
Temporary tattoos, you know.
Just stick it on the mask.
Yeah, I've never worked with your skin type before, but the mask that should be good. I don't know if that would help, but if we're gonna go punching, maybe it wouldn't make a difference, but if we want to try to get as far as we can.
Yeah, Clack would be down for a tattoo.
All right, I'll take out my disguise kit and quickly try to put a little because we saw what it looked like on the dwarf.
Yeah.
I'll try to mimic that on myself and on Clack and on the mask.
I'll
of
just
the-
do it myself.
Yeah, you've got. What about you, Pickle Boy? Do you want a tattoo?
Yeah. Be
Okay.
nice. Yeah. Pickle boy. Hey. Just because I
Sorry.
talk about pickles.
A lot, a lot, really.
I don't know.
lately. Yeah.
It's something about, I don't know. I just really have a craving for pickles now.
That's a
Mhm.
pickle.
Is that like a landed title, like Corn Queen, or how does that work exactly?
The
Oh,
Pickle Lord.
You could call me the Pickle Lord.
I wouldn't know. That's probably not a good idea.
I think Lord Pickle just kind of flows better.
Lord Pickle. The Zill. Zill Pickle.
Dill pickle?
So pickle.
Oh man, I'm a lot happier now. As long as we keep on, can't sit here too long though, too much longer. We got to keep on going.
Mhm.
We don't want to sit here and just.
You're a little restless now, huh? Oh,
Like
that wasn't a height. That wasn't a height comment. That was just, it just.
That's fine.
Sorry.
It's like the more you die, the happier you get.
I guess.
I mean,
You call
but
this
really,
happy? We gotta go. We gotta keep on going.
All right. So you guys are heading down the grate, down the ladder into the inverse. As soon as you climb down, it's not like a nasty sewer or anything. Like it's more like a stone labyrinth down there of tunnels that start out being pretty like right degree, 90-degree turns and bends, but after you travel maybe just like 100 feet down there, the tunnels start to become very winding, and it's not as easy, and they start to branch out into like various different subtunnels that give you the sense that you're going to get lost like pretty quick if not for doing you'll take precautions. You'll try to map it or chalk or whatever you're going to do to like kind of manage that. But it's clear that the environment down here, as much as Mechanist reflects law and order, down here the environment is much more maddening and chaos and has no logic. And so as you're traveling about, tell me what your like, and like you can abstract this, like you don't have to give me like super details, but just in general, what is your idea of like how you would track down Beltha?
I guess the first question is, do we see people down here as we're going down here? Are we passing by anybody who's like sitting around, or
Roll
it
me
just
a d4.
empty? Deal.
As you are traveling, you do see up ahead as you take a left-hand turn and you bend down a particular tunnel. Right at your, like sitting on the ground looking up at you, there are two hooded dwarves. Each has the same kind of broken gear symbol tattooed on them as well. They seem to be passing a bottle between each other and drinking from it and kind of giggling and laughing a little bit. And as soon as you do turn the corner, one of them looks up at you and it's like, hey, whoa, look at that little slime guy. Here, have a drink.
Why, thank you, stumpy little man.
They hand you the bottle.
I'll take like a massive swig. Like I've done this hundreds of times before.
Yeah, it helps, doesn't it? It helps to deal with all of the wrong.
You said it. All those straight lines, all those cues, all those mustache metal balls. It is ridiculous.
What gives them the right? Why do they
Facial-
get to decide the rules?
It's just too orderly.
Right on.
They shouldn't tell us to write what we can and cannot do. Even that mustachioed gift guy. Like, disgusting freak.
That guy's the worst. He's gotten me before. Has he gotten you? Yeah. We've spent some time in the jail. We know what it's like to not have your freedom. Be stuck behind those straight bars. Confined into tiny spaces. This is where you want to be, man. Just endless.
Tell you what, I have no issues with tiny spaces at all. And
You're
who
all
might
right. Say,
Thanks, man.
have you talked to Beltha?
Can't say I have. Haven't had the pleasure of her acquaintance yet.
I don't know. I mean, and it seems like they're kind of like whispering to each other, like they're like the one guy was like getting ready to like extend an offer, and then the other's like, "No, cut it out, man. You just met him."
Listen, I've had my fair share of rough and tumble across my time. I've sailed across the stars that you can never possibly imagine. Taking what I can and not giving back.
Why don't you give a persuasion check?
All right, little slime guy. What do you got? Persuasion. That's a number.
Let me just
Very
double-check.
average.
Very average.
That's a very squiggle number, though. There's
very
a bit of like
orderly.
a squiggle to it, though.
He's just like, yeah. Forget I said anything, man. I'm like a little baked right now. I don't know where I am. I don't even know who Beltha is. Is there anything that
will-
anybody else would like to do?
If we are interested in joining, how do you?
Whoa. There's a bug person, too.
How does he know?
That's a man.
What do I look like? To
Wait.
you.
Oh, you
What
look
do I
like one of
to you?
us, dude. That's weird. That's even
Oh.
weirder than the
Oh, yeah.
previous things.
Baked.
Where did y'all come from?
Clack almost cries because they said he looked like a bug. He feels at home.
Oh, that's right. Wait,
I'm a human.
you're human. Oh, yeah, that's right. Whoa, they see you as a bug.
Oh.
Well, like,
herself.
He
What
gets so
are you-
excited for a second and then he just kind of like slinks back. He's like, oh.
Baz is going to be like, what is it that you said you're baked, but like, so what is this? Like, where can we get some of this? It sounds like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's like a dude that You gotta what's his name? You gotta talk to. He's a dwarf too. Zanuck.
Oh,
You gotta talk to Zanuck, man.
where's he hang out, huh?
He's probably around here somewhere. But you can find him sometimes at the little bar with the tiny chairs.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Pieces of paper, huh?
Yeah, little pieces of paper. That's what you buy. And then the pieces of paper, they tell you where the stuff is.
Ah.
It's like pick your own or something like that.
Mm.
It's different every time. You never know what you're gonna get. One time, didn't you get like a bag of beans? Yeah, he got a bag of beans one time. That wasn't a good week.
That sounds horrible. Why would anyone ever get a bag of beans?
I
Don't
don't
we get
know.
pickles?
I heard of a guy that got a pickle once.
Yeah.
It was a good pickle, but he must have rolled pretty bad.
What do you think about somebody wanting to join that just doesn't want to think about, how things used to be? They just want to live in the now. Huh?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I was going to say, can I add one thing?
Sure.
Yeah, like there's obstacles. Like you just punch right through them. Can I shift that to an intimidation check?
I don't know. It's not really. You're not really threatening them.
Like you.
You want to threaten them?
No, I'll do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna threaten them like
You're gonna-
you. I'm crazy. I'm gonna shake him by the. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Actually, I am getting a bit upset.
All right. Make an intimidation roll.
$11.
Oof. All right. So you start shaking them, and they start they're on a substance, and they get like super freaked out by this, and so they're like, get off of me, man! Oh, and they stand up and they just start like running down the tunnel.
Well, that's definitely one way of doing it.
Yeah, maybe we should run after them. So they must be going somewhere other than just being lost, right? So should we follow?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, I'm
say
gonna
so.
follow.
Might as well.
All right. So for the next 5 minutes or so, you're chasing them through winding tunnels through endlessly through these catacombs. And eventually they end up at a dead end. At which point they turn around and they are, what do they pull out? Basically, you're entering into combat because they are like pinned up against the wall. They got nowhere to go, and they feel threatened.
Now I just feel bad.
Love it. This is chaos. This is anarchy. Right? I mean, that's what they want.
I think these guys just wanted to enjoy their buzz.
This is all anarchy
These are-
light. We're gonna walk around in the sewers.
Let's
They
show
have-
what
they pull
anarchy
out-
really is.
They pull
Yeah,
out
the
a couple of
tattoos.
flasks, and they like light them on fire. And there's
Oh,
like a little
no.
thing. It's on fire. It's like looks like it's probably an explosive that they're
Ooh.
getting ready to chuck at you. So, Give me just a sec. This is the thing when it's all kind of random stuff. I gotta get this set up. So, top of the round is Baz. So these two guys are at the end of the tunnel. They've just turned around. They both pulled out these flasks. They both also have hammers that they have strapped to their backs. They look like almost feral, like there's kind of a wild look in their eyes, and they're in kind of fight or flight mode right now.
How far away are they?
30 feet from you.
I think I'm going to say something like, we could just avoid this if you avoid all this, and you could go back to enjoying your buzz if you just tell us where we can or how we can get into the group here.
Okay, so you want to use your action to try to persuade them.
Sure.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
I think.
You could tell that you're speaking, but they aren't registering what you're saying. Like they're still winding up to chuck that flask.
I am going to. Can I do a bonus action to throw something? To throw?
No.
If I have 2-hit weapon fighting? No. Okay. Then I just want to take a couple steps back. Like I'm going to move back, hopefully out of range of whatever they're throwing.
Sounds good. Clack.
Clack. I don't want to attack him.
I tried.
Yeah. I feel like Clack would try to talk him down as well. Be like, hey, we don't want to fight. I don't want to fight.
Sounds good.
Like-
Oh,
Yeah, you can make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
okay. Let's see, 1 and 2.
First one was
15.
good.
15. So they continue to hold their flasks up, like they've got them ready, and they say, "You turn around, you get out of here."
He's backing up to like hands in the air, backing up to show like because Clack doesn't want to fight these guys who are just trying to smoke out the sewer.
Sounds good. Baldwin.
Okay. I will just level my weapon, back up my feet, and just hold an action to fire.
Sounds good. Hands of Havoc, Firestarter, just readies in action. Cerebella.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'll back up as well because that's what we're doing. But I'm gonna ready magic missile. So if they start to try to, oh, it's a creature of choice. Okay. I'm sorry. I was reading the spell. I wanted to try to target their bottles if they were gonna throw it at us, But so instead I'll just ready firebolt
Okay.
at one of the bottles, but I'll back up. But if they start to throw, I'm gonna fight fire with fire, apparently.
Hands of Havoc, Firestarter, readies in action. Zilloff.
I don't want.
Be you, Zilloff. Be you. Come on.
Oh.
Gotta be true to yourself.
It was so bad. I'm so angry. Things didn't work out. And he thinks like it's hurting him to walk backwards. And he's walking back.
Walking back. Okay.
Just tears.
And I think Baz is the only one I haven't heard from since this development.
I was top of the order, so are we back to the top?
Yep. What would you like to do?
Ah, geez. I don't know. What should I do? Should I just try to? We're all backed up.
I guess I'm coming to you to see like if you're following suit or not.
See, I'm mad now though because I don't want to run away. Like we shouldn't run away. They should just stop it.
I know.
I'm not planning to run. I'm not planning to run. I just wanted to step back to like de-escalate. He still wants to find out, but his goal was to de-escalate, not run away.
All right. I'm gonna take my crossbow out and I'm gonna shoot at the whoever's got a thing held above their head. Can I aim for the whatever they're throwing, or I'll just shoot them?
You want to shoot the bottle.
If possible.
Sure, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
He withdraws, like you don't land a hit on the object.
Okay.
He moves it out of the way or wrests it away.
I'm just gonna.
So
I'm still
hold
gonna,
on. There's a bunch of readied actions that are about to happen because of that.
Sorry.
Baldwin, did you have a readied action?
I did.
Okay, what was your readied action?
If they throw, I fire.
Okay, we'll wrap back around to you. So the first Hands of Havoc Firestarter is going to chuck his flask.
Well, and my readied action was if it looked like they were about to throw, I was going to try to
I
hit
got
the object with a firebolt.
I got to process the readied actions in
Oh, okay.
the order. So,
Okay.
because everybody's got a thing that's going to react to another thing, to another thing, to another thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you're okay, so basically the way I'm going to interpret yours is, so this guy's going to throw his, but you got the other guy who is after you.
Okay.
So you can target his and try to get him before he throws his, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this guy is going to throw this, and I'm going to say... He's chucking this at Zilloff is right in the front there. So he's just chucking it like the first one of your group that he sees.
Okay.
All right, a 21 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Deals 14 fire damage.
Okay.
So as the flask hits you, it like a, napalm just kind of spreads across your body and just like lights you up on fire. A familiar feeling for Zilloff.
Been there, done that.
Yep. So on your turn, immediately after taking the damage, you can make a dex saving throw, ending the effect on a successful save.
All right, dex save. Sounds good.
Okay. So the effect is still active. At the start of each of your turns, you'll take 1d6 fire damage until that's put out. All right. We'll go. Cerebella had a firebolt ready.
Right.
I'm sorry, Alex. I think I get danger sense. So I was able to see that, so I get to. It would have been a 12. I don't know if that would have made a difference.
It doesn't.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Cerebella, give us your... and this is targeting the flask.
Right. I was trying to explode it before it hit us, basically.
Okay, roll some damage. Okay. This one blows up in his face. Oh, sorry, that's Firebolt. I'm going to do the damage on the flask. So on the second one, he takes 15 fire damage, and he needs to make a dex saving throw, which he fails. So the second one is on fire. Let's see. I don't know. We'll just deny him his thing. Technically, he's got more, but Zilloff, you had a ready to action.
I had moved back.
Oh, you had moved back. Okay.
Yeah.
So Baldwin.
My reaction was to fire. I'll fire at the guy that's not on fire.
Okay, sounds good.
14.
14 misses. Okay. We're still on Baz's turn, who just took an action.
I would just like to back up a little bit more. I don't know how far I am, but like I don't want to necessarily be where the fire is.
Okay, sounds good. You're further back than where
just a
Zilloff
little
is.
bit. Sure.
All right, Clack, it is your turn.
Clack. Clack is. He is going to. He's going to cast Mirror Image on himself
Sounds good.
and keep his distance. Yeah. Mirror Image, keep distance, back up way. And that'll
Baldwin.
be it for him.
I will move up within 40 feet of target who is on fire and fire twice.
Sounds good.
I'll use my planar warrior feature as my bonus action to make this attack do force damage for the first hit. So first attack, 21 to hit,
That one hits.
or 17 force damage.
All right.
And second shot, 27 to hit for 15 piercing.
Sounds good. So a couple of musket blasts, it pierces right through the breastplate underneath his cloak. Like you could just see he was wearing some armor that has now been passes right through the outer garment that he was wearing and through the metal, and he's just on fire and in pain, almost like drops to a knee, almost like just howling in agony.
Yep.
And the one that is not on fire pulls out another flask and is going to chuck it at Baldwin. A 20.
Yep.
11 fire damage. And then you get that save to see if it immolates you or not. Dex save.
Nope. Fail.
So you're lit by the flames. Cerebella.
All right. Well, I am going to look at the one that's not on fire, the one that just threw the flask, and I'm going to suggest you put the damn flasks away and help us out so you don't have to die. And I'm going to cast suggestion.
Wisdom.
Let's see. Yes, so wisdom save. It's in the thing now. DC 15.
And he fails. Is this the one that is not on fire?
Yeah, yeah. I thought he might live longer. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah.
So.
You see that he puts he was like reaching for like yeah, he was reaching for like another flask, but you see after your suggestion takes hold that he stops and doesn't reach for like another weapon or anything like that. This other one is on fire currently, so he's going to take 4 fire damage. And he's going to use his action to start to put the flames out, which... I'm just going to say he stops, he drops, and he rolls. That's an effective strategy for this, and he puts the fire out. That's his turn. So he's prone. Zilloff.
As everyone's doing stuff, I'm rolling around, yelling, "It still hurts! It still hurts!" And I will try to get I'll try to not be burnt anymore. I'm gonna do it myself. I can do it. I have enough hit points. No more fire for me, I hope. Do I have to take damage at the beginning?
Yeah,
of
there's
this
a little
roll,
bit at the start. So 6 fire at the start, but
Okay.
your action will put it out.
Okay.
All right. Yes. I see that, Kamas. I appreciate the DM reroll, but you know what? I'm actually going to reject that and give you your points back because I don't think I'm going to have time to use it. So buy me one next time. Appreciate it, though. I think with that, with a suggestion spell underway and this other guy is badly burned, he's going to cease fighting you. And they are going to acquiesce and say, okay, we'll talk. We'll tell you everything we know. We'll tell you everything we know about her. And I'm just looking at the time. It's 10, so that's usually when we call it. And there's not much more that's going to come of this combat. But it didn't go well, and you got hurt a little bit in this combat. So that's something to keep in mind as we pick up next time. You'll get the information about where her hideout is from them and be able to go there and try to get the logbook back for the sheriff so that you might be able to gain access to the portal and get a piece of memory for your mimir. So awesome. Thank you guys for the game here tonight.
Thank you.
As we close things out, we usually stop to take a moment to share a bit of gratitude with our fellow players, something that they did that really made the moment, made you enjoy the game.
I would like to throw gratitude out to Daw and Ike for their interaction, their reborn moment in the in the tower. That got a big ol' laugh out of me, and especially Dawson's new voice for Baldwin, who it's so different compared to that first voice that it like really threw me.
I'm gonna hate every moment of it.
And I will love every minute. So thank you, like gratitude towards the both of you.
My absolute favorite moment was when Zilloff came back and said, "Hello, my little peppercorn." I thought it was just so funny and sweet, and he will never learn the password, but that's okay. We still We still love them.
Well, you have that tattoo kit, right? It's not gonna work. I have to say I like the two characters coming back is enjoyable. That was very funny, and of course all the pickle stuff. But I think my gratitude goes to Alex this time for letting us kind of wander off on a tangent like for a while. So yeah, that was it's funny and it's fun. So thanks.
You're keeping me on my feet, on my toes. I never know exactly what's gonna happen.
My gratitude will go out just to the whole group. Like playing the game. It's been a while. Miss playing it. And thanks for playing up with the whatever the hell I came up with this voice. And I'm sorry for the future.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for Dawson and all the other voices we get to hear from him. Because if this is just the start, I can only imagine what else we're gonna get.
We find out that this life is the longest one that lives and will not go.
We're gonna protect you. You're too precious.
I'd like to throw another gratitude out to Lyra for like how quick you were at like jumping like in like once we got once like Dawn Baldwin come up, you were like on top of it. You were like you like jumped right in like with like the role play and like interacting with them, and it was like really cool to see, especially like when at the beginning you were like, I'm not quite sure like what I want to do, and then like it felt like so natural. You're like, oh, here we go, and like just like jumped right in and like we're interacting with them. So it was like really like it was really cool to see.
He is a little sticky, I think.
Let me poke you.
I think my gratitude for this session would go to Jenna, who has built a character that fit right in with being able to take the lead there with the mimir and everything. And I felt like you did a good job with very little information, kind of taking the lead on that little part of the session, which is like a pretty critical part of the story, is having this device and starting to collect all the information that you'll need to find Rome. So thank you. That was awesome.
I'm glad it worked out because it all started with this guy trying to figure out how to make himself look like a bug again. So I mean, I'm glad that it like weaved into something bigger. So I'm excited to see what happens with getting like these bits of memory and like the impressions and like what happens with that.
I'm eager to hear what Clack's impression of different places is going to be and what you imprint on the device, because that'll be a fun thing. So, all right. Well, I think we are back to being normal for a bit in terms of schedules. So we should be back here next week, 7:30 for our next session. We will resolve things here in Mechanus, and then who knows where we might go. So thanks everybody. Let's see if we've got anybody out there we can say hi to and throw a raid out to. Let's see, the Goodman Games folks are streaming, so we'll go say hi to them. All right, thanks everyone. If you haven't yet done so, jump into our Discord, come hang out with us there. But we will call it a night. See ya.
Good night.